welcome back to McMorris Prosthetic Services. So today's 12 years since my accident, and it's been a long 12 years. A year ago today, we were bringing my daughter home from the hospital, and now we have two, so I'm a little bit tired. But I've been thinking a lot about a video I made on the old channel about identifying as an amputee, and as I worked kind of through that video, I realized, like, yeah, I don't like specifying myself as an amputee, and I even, in my head, it's hard for me to view myself and myself as an amputee, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just myself, and sometimes it's even hard for me to like remind myself, like, hey, you are missing your limb too, like maybe that's hard to comprehend for like a lot of people. Maybe that's hard to comprehend, but like it is very hard for me to put those together. Maybe my brain, when the accident happened, like a way of protecting myself was like keeping my identity and then like my physical appearance separate, and it's taken like some time to understand that about myself first off, and then understand maybe why I do struggle with identifying that way. And I also think that it's important to recognize that, like, just because I am an amputee obviously doesn't mean I'm really any different from anybody else. And that's a lot of the purpose around this channel, is like, hey, I am normal. I am a normal guy. I do normal things, and have a fairly normal life, but I get to be involved with some pretty cool things because I am an amputee, and I get to benefit from that. And I've worked really hard to be able to benefit from it, but then also to be able to have the perspective of looking at it as like, yeah, I'm benefiting from this thing that happened to me, rather than focusing on what I lost. And I did lose like a lot, and it is, being a parent now and everything else, like my kids aren't walking or running, but I already have guilt of like, what can and can't I do with them? And I've learned about myself that most things I'll be able to do, and I'll figure out how to adapt what I need to adapt to make it happen. But it still is definitely like a rational fear that I have, and something that I think about constantly. Or just being able to provide for my family is definitely like, I don't know if I'll ever feel like I made it. Like, I still struggle financially. I still struggle to make sure that everything is taken care of and we're comfortable. Like, we're working hard. Me and my wife work hard, and we do a lot to, like every household in America, like I would assume, make sure that everything is taken care of and bills are paid and everything else. And I want to feel that value somewhere sometime. But it is very, I guess what I'm getting to is like me losing my limb, all of those things, all of those fears are rational and everything, but then I still wake up and I'm still like grateful that I'm alive. I'm still grateful that I have the opportunity to have children, and to have a marriage and a wife that supports me, and family that loves me, and I'm grateful that I lived through my experience so that I can experience all of those things, and get to experience what I get to experience every day. Right now I'm in the thick of like my paternity, so it's like it's a little bit of a whirlwind right now around our house, but I still like wake up and think like, wow, this is pretty fun, pretty amazing to be able to be raising like two healthy, beautiful girls, and be doing it with like the most amazing person in the world. And if I didn't live through my experience, and if I didn't go through all of the hard things that I had to go through, if I didn't go through, having to learn about myself physically, having to learn more about myself emotionally, like I probably wouldn't be able to do all that I'm doing right now. And so that, gives me a like sense of accomplishment, I guess, but it also makes me want to do a lot more. I am more motivated than I've ever been, and just I'm trying to figure out how to, hit the road and just keep going. I guess like we're off to a good start here, but I don't feel like I'm anywhere close to where like my end goal is, and that's really kind of what I learned through my amputation and everything. And when I speak a lot, I speak a lot about setting goals and how to accomplish your goals, and that is probably one of the greatest gifts that I learned through my accident. Is I knew how to set goals, especially physical ones, and how to work hard physically, and I knew how to do all that before I lost my leg. But losing my leg taught me how to be committed to goals and how to stay committed to things that are hard, and that is life. If you can't be setting goals and staying committed to them, like you're probably not going to get to where you want to be. And there was a time in my life where I had goals for sure, but I wasn't super motivated towards accomplishing them, and was more in kind of a free fall like type of state where I was like, yeah, I just go with the flow and do the things that I enjoy, and that was great for a time. Um, but now looking back on it, it's like if I did that for my whole life, I would feel selfish. I would feel like me going through all of this experience and learning all that I've learned and being able to be involved in all the things that I've been involved in. I have to find a way to give that back to the amputee community, to the general population. Like there's got to be a way to give that back, and all that I've been fortunate to experience. Um, that's my goal now is how do I give it back, and how do I make the community better? How do I grow the community? How can I help? And I believe that if I continue doing the things that I'm doing and continue helping and everything else, then I'll be able to take care of my family and all of those things for sure. That's kind of my philosophy, is always like just stay on the path of like I do it for the right reasons, I guess, and the other things will come, and that I believe that's true for sure. But just having 12 years of perspective now, I've worked hard for the 10 years of that 12, to get to a place where I can feel like, oh, I can give back now, and so that is what I'm trying to do. But having the perspective of 12 years really does, this video has like no base topic, I guess. Like, yeah, I like goal setting and that's all great and everything else, but really this is just me venting a little bit. And it's been 12 years that have been really hard. It's been 12 years that have been really good. I wouldn't trade them. I've grown more than I could have ever imagined, and I've had setbacks that have been worse than I could have ever imagined. But through all of that, like, I'm still here. I'm still moving forward. I'm going to continue to keep moving forward, and I'm going to continue to keep growing and evolving and becoming a better person, and better for my family, and better for my kids, better for everyone around me, better for the community that I'm serving, and that is my goal. I've worked so many jobs over the last 10 years, 11 years, because I wanted to learn as much as possible. I haven't just taken one job and then gone to another place and done the same thing. When I go to a new place, I want to do something different. I want to learn, I want to grow, and that will always be my philosophy, is growth, and whether that's professionally or whatever it is, growth is what I'm after. And I think that as amputees, but as people in general, growth really should be what we're all looking for. And the ways that we can apply that in our lives is individual to all of us, and benefit from it. But for me, when I put myself out of my comfort zone, when I go above and beyond for somebody else, those are the times that, like, I notice that significant growth happens, and it changes me for the better, and then that's when I start to feel more comfortable. That's when I start to feel more confident and can do the things that maybe I was saved to do. And I hope that I am, and I hope that I don't take for granted, the people that saved me, and how fortunate I am to be alive, because I am so fortunate to be alive. And, if I wasn't here, in Utah, taken to University of Utah Hospital, taken to all the surgeons I was taken to there, and everything. I don't think that I would be as well off as I am, and I don't think I would be as emotionally stable as I am or anything else. I'm very fortunate that I was saved by the people I was saved by, and that's not just doctors and nurses. Everyone around me saved me in one way or another. And today, my daughters save me every day. My wife saves me every day. My siblings, my parents. I'm still trying to earn that all the time, and I don't ever really want to forget that I need to earn that in some ways. I think that's it for today. I hope that this is like a little bit beneficial. If you relate to this video at all, reach out to me. I would love to just talk about our experiences and kind of, things that you've gone through and how you grew from that. And because I do strongly believe that like we grow from loss, and that doesn't mean that like loss is the only way that we grow, but it creates unique opportunities to challenge yourself and move forward. And that's what I'm always trying to do. So 12 years later, most days I feel like I'm taking a step backwards, and then a couple days I take a few steps forwards, but I'll always be moving, working to move in the right direction. And I appreciate you if you're watching these videos and supporting me, because this hopefully is helping me on my goals as well.